USABA Pathways, Eliana Mason. Hashtag identity appears on screen. Eliana is shown seated wearing her USA jersey. Photos and video of Eliana from her goalball career show throughout the video.
In 2008, I was 13 years old and I went to a sports camp at the Washington State School for the Blind, and that was my first time ever learning about the sport of goalball. I grew up loving sports in the middle of two brothers and always trying to keep up, and so when I learned about a new sport, I was excited, but when I learned that we wore eye shades to get rid of vision and equalize the playing field, I felt for the first time ever I could just play the sport without having to work twice as hard to compensate for my vision loss. And luckily for me, a year later, two Paralympians at the time, Jen Armbruster and Asia Miller, moved to Portland, Oregon, and we crossed paths, and they happened to be USA national goalball players, and they were like, we're hosting practice, like come join. And then I went to youth nationals for my first time ever in 2011, and I got to compete. And that was when I absolutely fell in love with the sport, where I was like, this is amazing, I love competing, I love this environment, I want to be a Paralympic athlete just like other Paralympians. And I came home from that tournament, I told my parents, I'm going to go to the Paralympics someday. So after that competition in 2011, Jen and Asia asked me if I'd compete with them on the adult circuit, which is one of the biggest things you have to do to get an invite to a national training camp, is to compete at tournaments throughout the season. So I started competing with them, and then in 2013 in January was my first ever international tournament with Team USA in Pajalati, Finland. And that was like kind of my first exposure to the international circuit. Oh my gosh, goalball has absolutely changed my life and impacted it in so many ways. I want to say the first thing it did is it helped me gain confidence with my vision loss, not just from being able to play sport and feel confident as an athlete, but to see other people who are my age or older, role models, peers, who have the same struggles I do, and see people who were in college at the time or who had kids or who were working in different fields. And so I had a lot of mentors, and it helped me feel not so isolated in my vision loss and learn to not see it as such like a negative or a bad thing about myself, but learn to reframe it and see it as just that is a part of me and my identity, and see the strengths that it brings. So confidence and identity are two huge things I've gained from goalball, but also just the exposure. I've been to 10 different countries, the things I've experienced, the places I've seen, the people I've met. My boyfriend is from goalball 5 years, so it's really impacted my life in so many ways, and just the opportunities from competing for Team USA. They do tuition grants to help with college, and they do career fairs, and I learned about an FBI internship through them, and in 2017 I had the opportunity to do my internship with them. So every aspect of my life has been impacted through getting involved with goalball. I truly believe that the path that led me to goalball was the path I was meant to be on, through all the struggle and through everything that I went through to discover goalball, and the hard work and effort, dedication and determination it took to become a part of the USA women's team, all led me to where I was supposed to be today.
On screen, words appear. Hashtag identity, hashtag support, hashtag pathways. USA National Goalball Team logo, USABA and US Paralympics logo. Text reads, where Paralympic journeys begin and you belong here.